vibe, we shine on the light. We all over the world, chat night Africa. We all over the world, chat night Africa. Welcome to chat night, we bring you good vibe, we shine on the light. Welcome to chat night, we bring you good vibe, we shine on the light. We all over the world, chat night Africa. We all over the world, chat night Africa. Welcome to chat night, the only place that we give you good vibes. Chat night Africa. Welcome to chat night, all over the world we are shining the light. Chat night Africa. Welcome to chat night.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to this first edition of Next Generation Today. This space became necessary for two reasons. So many talented teens and young adults haven't had adequate opportunities to show the world what they are capable of, especially those in underprivileged places. Important conversations between parents and their teenagers easily get muddied because of generational difference.
Children of Africa, tell me, are you ready?
Next Generation Today will not only highlight talents, it will also take you into the world of teenagers. Solutions to problems could come from unexpected places. Ladies and gentlemen, the 11-year-old girl, Rosel Bianda, you are about to meet is not a product of an accident. She will demonstrate tangibly how she prepares to face life challenges, the stones, poor understanding of money, of how poor understanding of money throws into our faces, even the faces of adults. Now, I'm inviting you to meet the young lady, Rosel Bianda, on Chat Night Africa. Rosel, thank you for accepting to me my guests on the maiden edition of Next Generation Today.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity to be here.
My name is Divine Chamakong, and I'm anchoring this broadcast from Washington, D.C. metropolitan area. Rosel, tell me, I watch a lot of your videos online, and it's all about money, money, money. Why is that? One would think that a young lady of your age should come and be saying they want to become an engineer, a doctor, a lawyer, whatever. But you're talking about money. What is it you're trying to do?
First of all, I just want to thank you again for letting me be here and talk to you about finance. I hope that I can help the children and possibly their parents who are watching me and listening to what I'm about to say. You wanted to know why my videos are centered around teaching younger children about money. The thing is, I believe that it is better to learn about money while you are young. So as you are growing up, you not only are gaining more knowledge, when you are older and you are old enough to do things by yourself, you already know everything you need to know. Somewhere in Proverbs in the Bible, it says, train up a child in the way he should grow, and when he is older, he will not depart from it. This basically means that when you teach a child something, when they grow up, they will not abandon the habit.
That's Rosel Bianda. I have to say, your brilliance in talking about this subject got my attention. But articulately as you do it, what are the chances that children, when adults, will remember what you are teaching now?
So when you learn something in school when you're younger, you may not remember them that easily, but when you learn about something that's everywhere in your life, you are less likely to forget about it. Money is a good example of this. Money is everywhere you go. It shows up when you're younger and it keeps following you as you get older. So if you learn something about money when you're younger and you're constantly being reminded about it, there's no way you're going to forget about it. So if financial teachings are consistent, then children are less likely to forget about what you're teaching them.
Roselle, I have attended a lot of parent-teacher association meetings back in Africa and here in the United States where I have children. What parents are concerned about when they meet with teachers and school authorities isn't money. That's the last thing parents are talking about. Why are these parents wrong?
So every parent has their own opinion, and I can't go on saying that someone's parent is wrong for teaching them something that isn't necessarily bad, but I know that people who don't have money aren't generally happy and are doing everything in their power to earn money. And at the end of the day, everything that we're doing right now is so we're going to have money in the future. So it is better for parents to teach their kids about money while they are younger.
Mama Africa, I wanna know, are you ready?
That's precisely why we are doing this show. And my guest is Roselle Mbianda. This is the first edition of Next Generation Today, a brand new program we initiated on Chat Night Africa for reasons I exposed in my introduction. Are there areas of money you believe would be most beneficial to people of your age or young adults? And if there are, what are those areas?
In my opinion, spending would be most beneficial for people my age, since not every kid can work, but every kid can spend. So if a child is exposed to money at a younger age and they don't know how to spend it or how to manage it correctly, they can take that money and go somewhere and make bad financial decisions without anybody to tell them what they're doing wrong. Instead, they should be able to know what to need and what to want, or if they're spending too much and how to prevent themselves from doing that.
You're speaking to not only your peers, but to lots of adults. And I have to say this, I look around and I see adults who just go to a store and spend and spend and spend and spend. And soon they say they are stressed out. Now, some of the stressors in life include, but not limited to, spending without applying any brakes. And so it fascinates me when you talk about spending. But then how can you, what are the mechanisms of, or the guardrails, when you are climbing through a stairway, you have guardrails you're holding. So what are some of those things that people should do to help them avoid spending and spending and spending and spending? So what are they?
So, first of all, I think that keeping track of how much money that you're spending or how much money that you're earning is one thing that you should be doing before you go out and spend money. Because if you're not keeping track of how much you're spending, like you said, you can just go to a store and spend and spend and spend without knowing how much money that you're wasting. Credit cards also come into play when I talk about this. Because if you were to bring $50 to a store and you can only spend that $50, as soon as it runs out, you have to go back home to get either more money or you just try borrow money from someone else or something. But if you have a credit card, you are able to just spend money, even though that money isn't even yours.
Wow, you're loaded. I have to say you are loaded. When banks in the United States and Europe, I don't know the case in Africa if they don't use credit cards. When banks give you these credit cards, the impression they give you is that that's money you have when it's not money you have. They're just saying that's money you can spend. And because of that, people go into spending sprees. Like you said, I mean, if I have $100 and walk into a shoes or a suit store, if I don't have enough money, I'm going to have to go back and look for some. Or it would mean I'm simply not prepared to get that what I'm thinking I need. So you can only spend how much you have when you're using cash. But when you have a credit card with the value of $100,000, you think that you have that money in the bank. You don't have that money. That's very significant. Now, you talked about needs and wants. Why is that very important to identify between or to be able to, importance of that? You are watching Next Generation today. The importance of drawing the needs between wants and needs.
So if your child does not know the difference between needs and wants, then once again they are spending incorrectly, because wants usually look more enticing than needs because they are made to look better and more fancier, so your child looks maybe richer if they have it. But needs are something that you need to have to actually survive. And a want is something that is not necessary.
What are some of the mistakes that you've seen young people, adults, making when it comes to money?
So most adults, instead of saving their money and putting it in a separate account, they might just take that money and just have it anywhere. They're just spending it, keeping it in some place where they don't know if it's growing or decreasing, taking it out, spending it. They're not taking any of the money that they earn and keeping it in an account. They're just spending it immediately. And that is very, very, very dangerous, because if that money runs out and you have no source of income, then there's nothing you can do.
Roselle, if your daddy gives you $500, why shouldn't you go spend all of it? Why should anybody have to save some money?
So if my dad were to give me $500, I would save some of it. I would put all of it into different accounts for the future. I could put some into my college funds. I could put some into funds for my car. I could put some into funds for my siblings. I could put some into account for life insurance. And maybe if I still have some left, I could take some for myself and buy something for myself.
Do you think what you're saying should be taught in schools?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for saying that. I think that finance should be taught in schools, because when you go to school, you're learning everything you need to know except how to earn money, which I think is a little unreasonable, since when you go into the real world, the first thing you need to do is get money. And if you are unaware of the things you need to do to get money, then you're going to be in a very difficult situation when you grow up.
So whose responsibility is it first? Your parents to teach you, or the school?
Oh, can you repeat the question again?
Whose responsibility is it first to impart this knowledge in children? Is it your parents or the school system?
I think it's both responsibility, because again, you're going to school to learn, and your parents are the first people to teach you stuff in the first place before you go to school.
You are an adult. If you are an adult, or let me put the question this way: how is money related to behavior in later life? Why is it so important to do this and now, to know this and now?
It's important because people who are unable to manage their money efficiently are usually like have a bad attitude. For example, let's say there's a little kid. She's 10 years old and her parents have a lot of money. Since that child is not educated in finance, that child will just take the money their parents give her and just spend it and spend it and spend it to the point where their parents go bankrupt and they have no more money because that child has spent all their money on unnecessary things.
If your dad gave you $1,000 now, explain to me, give me some examples what you would want to do with that money first.
So before anything, I would definitely put some into my insurance and some into my college funds and my car funds. And I would keep the money, some of it for myself, and maybe give some to my siblings too.
You're talking about insurance. That gets my attention because not a lot of adults worry about insurance. Why is that important that you want to put some in an insurance fund or something like that?
So when you take money and you put it into an account for insurance, as the years pass, that money is growing. And when the amount of years, I'm pretty sure that when the certain amount of years pass, then you can take some of that money out and use it for other things.
It makes so much sense. I'm just wondering why adults don't think about it first. They thinking about spending and spending and spending and spending. Now you've studied a lot about money. What are other things about money that you have studied? You talked about spending, for example. What are other ones? What are the other ones?
I've talked about different places to put your money, like CDs, savings accounts, checkings accounts. For example, a CD, a certificate of deposit, is a certificate that a bank writes sign that you're going to deposit a certain amount of money into that bank for a certain amount of time, and then after that certain amount of years passes, you get to take all of that money. And then another thing are bonds. When you purchase a bond usually set out by a community. These are called municipal bonds. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that the right way.
Yeah,
but
go ahead.
When you purchase it, let's say you purchase a $5,000 bond that's growing on 5% interest. So that bond, the amount of money in that bond is increasing by 5%, and after 30 years pass, you now have like a certain amount of money. And now the person who purchased the bond is now going to receive not only the certain amount of money, but the additional $5,000 that they used to purchase the bond.
That's excellent. So you talked about savings, you talked about spending, and you raised issues on how when you spend and spend and spend without some guidelines or some guardrails, it could be a problem for you. Talk to me a little bit about budgeting, because the last time I had a conversation with you, you raised the problems of poor budgeting. Could you teach me or teach the people who are watching now or those who are going to watch later on the importance of budgeting?
So budgeting is important especially when you are trying to build something. Like maybe you're trying to start a business. You don't want to spend too much money because if you don't, then that could be very bad and you could end up not making business. Or when you're in a bad financial situation where you want to save money and you want to be aware of how much money you're spending, how much money you're earning. So when you're budgeting, um, you are setting a limit to the amount of money that you want to spend. And if you were to go over that limit, you would just stop whatever you're doing. And you would want to try to not exceed the limit of the amount of money that you want to spend.
That makes sense. How old are you again? Your brilliance in discussing this thing is stunning. How old are you again?
I'm going to be 12 years old in December.
There are so many distractions in the world now. You have the internet, you have all kinds of gadgets. Where do you find time to study all this? How do you do that and then handle your schoolwork?
We usually do those financial videos every Sunday. So during the weekdays, I can finish my schoolwork, and then sometimes I'll also read the chapter, write the summary, and then on Sunday I already have the summary ready to say and put it on the internet.
That is time budgeting. That's why I ask you the question precisely. What's the role of your parents? Are there times that you think your parents are becoming a nuisance when they think that you should be studying all these things?
Well, sometimes either resting, my dad will come up to me and remind me that I'm supposed to do my summary, or remind me that I should be getting ready for the video. And it'll annoy me a little bit, but I know that everything that I'm doing right now will allow me to become a millionaire at 25. My dad tells me this every day. Every day after we do our videos or finish studying, he tells me that at 25, I will be a millionaire. And I believe him wholeheartedly.
Wow, that's interesting. But young people like you, they have their own things they like to do. They want to play games, computer games, and so on. Tell me frankly, I mean, are there times your dad comes across as a nuisance? Or just disturbing you? It's stopping you from the things you would love to do, like playing your games?
Well, I make sure that I find time for myself to enjoy myself, and then the time should be used for studying.
What would you tell children of your age how they can budget their time, how they can get to become excited? What is it, the advice, one advice or two, three pieces of advice you'd like to give children of your age group?
I would tell them that everything to achieve in the future, if they want to achieve something in the future, it starts right now. And that if you wait until the time comes where you want to achieve that thing and you're just rushing, you don't have time to really focus on that thing since the time has already come, there's no way you're going to do it. So you should do it right now. That way you are able, like in the future, you already have done it. You don't have to do anything else.
I understand there are other extracurricular activities you engage in. What are they, apart from just schoolwork?
So I am in my school's student council. I'm the treasurer in my school's student council. And I also am a competitive gymnast in Excel. I'm an Excel silver.
I'm not surprised that they want you to be a treasurer. Does that surprise you?
Actually, when I got the role, it was like, oh, it's a coincidence. I'm doing all this stuff about finance and now I'm treasurer.
They have to have watched your videos on finance, handling money, that they said, this is, if there's somebody we can entrust our money into their hands, it's you. It has to have played that part. I understand that you do martial art. Is that correct?
Oh no, my brothers do martial arts.
Oh, your brothers do martial art.
Yes.
That didn't seem to get your attention.
Not really. I was already doing
Which is fine.
gymnastics. Yeah, I was already doing gymnastics for a long time, and I didn't want to have to choose between two sports. And I'd already loved gymnastics a lot, and I didn't want to sidetrack in the middle of my gymnastics career.
Interesting. Now, we will have a commercial break. And just so that you probably can drink a bit of water, that will run on for about a minute or so. We will be right back. Listeners, viewers, you are watching Voices, not Voices of Africa, but Next Generation Today. You're watching Next Generation Today, the maiden broadcast of it. It's not going to be a long program because we just simply wanted to launch this show with somebody, with a teenager, a teen, if you like, who has ideas which could help not only young people of our age group, but adults as well. And as you can see, what she's saying certainly can help not only adults, young people, but also adults. We will be right back. My name is Divine Chamukong. I'm anchoring this broadcast from Washington, D.C. Metropolis.
Welcome to Garrett Delivery Service LLC. Have you been looking for a reliable and affordable moving company? Garrett Delivery Service moves your belongings using extra safety measures. We offer customized solutions to fit all of your delivery requirements, saving you time and money. We are dedicated to providing you with safe and prompt delivery services by partnering with a network of local drivers. Feel free to call us if you need assistance with booking your delivery. Here are some of the proficient services we offer. Local moving services, furniture delivery services, medicines delivery services, letters delivery services, documents delivery services, grocery delivery services, food delivery services, flowers and gifts delivery services, junk removal services, home cleanout service. Other attributes to make you hire our fascinating services. Operational since 2019, 24/7 availability, timely delivery, trusted partnership with local movers. We value your time, maximum customer satisfaction, reasonable rates. Get in touch to book your delivery.
And I have to tell you that these guys are incredible. I use their services, Garrett, and they exceeded my expectations in customer service. At some point, I'm going to bring the father of this young lady to explain to me how he gets to train these children to understand what we are hearing. This is extraordinary. But before I get to do that, I will bring up my star today, who came to launch Next Generation Today, Miss Roselle Mbianda, for probably a last word or any other thing she would like to say, to tell teenagers, to tell even adults about money, how you manage money, how you get money to grow and all that. So, ladies and gentlemen, once again, Roselle Mbianda. Roselle, you have been outstanding.
Thank you.
A lot of adults are going to learn from what you are doing and from what you said. And it's amazing. It's amazing. It's simply amazing. Somehow your image is frozen on the screen. So I'm going to maybe bring your daddy first. And I'm going to bring your daddy first and then bring you up in a moment. You are watching Next Generation Today. Hello, Dr. Mbianda. Your connectivity seems to have a problem. You may want to exit and come right back in. I will bring you back in a moment. Let's see. It looks like Roger Mbianda, Dr. Mbianda, has some connectivity issues. Let me see if I can bring him up right now to see what we can I think everything's okay now. Ladies and gentlemen, this is my friend. No steel. Beautiful. They will have to reconnect.
Welcome to Garrett Delivery Service LLC. Have you been looking for a reliable and affordable moving company? Garrett Delivery Service moves your belongings using extra safety measures. We offer customized solutions to fit all of your delivery requirements, saving you time and money. We are dedicated to providing you with safe and prompt delivery services by partnering with a network of local drivers. Feel free to call us if you need assistance with booking your delivery. Here are some of the proficient services we offer: local moving services, furniture delivery services, medicines delivery services, letters delivery services, documents delivery services, grocery delivery services, food delivery services, flowers and gifts delivery services, junk removal services, home cleanout service. Other attributes to make you hire our fascinating services. Operational since 2019, 24/7 availability, timely delivery, trusted partnership with local movers. We value your time, maximum customer satisfaction, reasonable rates. Get in touch to book your delivery.
Apparently, Dr. Mbianda is available right now. Let me see if I can bring him in to tell us a little bit. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Mbianda. Dr. Mbianda, I have to say that your young daughter is amazing. I did not expect her to understand the things that she was espousing on the show. She responded to my questions. Honestly, I'm pleasantly surprised. Tell me a little bit. What is it? How do you produce such children? How did they get to learning these things?
First of all, thank you very much, Divine, for inviting me to the show. I am really honored. One thing I always say is that I am blessed to have these children. God alone knows how this happened, but I also know that you can only harvest what you plant. And I am very deliberate and intentional in the way I treat my children. Whatever I teach them with the intention of having them to use that knowledge in future. When we plant, do we expect what we plant to grow immediately? Probably not. We are planting now because we are sure that we are investing for the future. So I try my best to give it my best, and thankfully, they are that fertile soil which I plant the seed.
One would think, Dr. Mbianda, that you would be telling them how they can become a doctor, PhD like you. They can become medical doctors, they can become lawyers of renown. But here you are, laser focused in training them about money. Why is that? What's the significance?
And I've thought about this myself, and sometimes I feel like I'm a hypocrite because I have gone to school all my life. I studied and I got my doctorate in curriculum development and teaching. That is a good thing. I walk around everywhere, I advertise myself as a doctor, and people are so happy about it. But does that put money in my pocket? Probably no. We are working every day because we need money to better our families and the rest of the people around us. You can brandish the certificate all you want, but can you really pragmatically take care of the people you need to take care of? That answer is usually very questionable. And so that is why I have decided to follow a path which I am sure is going to work. Teach children how to make this money, how to make this money work for them, how to be responsible financially, and some other things that would make them grow as normal human beings. It's not all about going to school and having the certificates. I hope they will understand one day. I know that sometimes they ask me, you are a doctor, but you really don't to go to school as much as you. That's not what I'm saying. They can be a doctor, but let them be a doctor in something, put money in their pocket.
You are watching Next Generation today, and I had first Miss Roselle Mbienda, and now her dad, Dr. Roger Mbienda. Last question to you, sir. What would you tell parents? Because sometimes parents have this vague idea of, I want my children to succeed. What would you tell them? Is it just about learning to have A grades in math, in geography, in history, or in whatever? You involve your children in martial art. You are teaching them money, how money grows, how to manage money. What is it that you want to tell as advice, parents watching you right now and those who will watch later?
All right. There are a couple of things I'm going to say. I use the word deliberate and intentional, and I use these words deliberately and intentionally. If you are deliberate with what you are doing and you are intentional about it, it is going to work. Abraham Lincoln said, the best way to predict your future is to create it. There's no coincidence about it. If you teach your child how to become what you want them to become, they will become it, and give them all the tools necessary. About the martial art, the children loved it. I didn't choose it for them. They watched it on TV and they said they wanted to do it. I thought that was another way I could invest in the children. They love it, and that could help them in the future. One of them already telling me that he is going to have a business. He's going to open a business where he will be training other martial arts students and they'll be paying him money. That is already something. Roselle is involved in gymnastics. She's competitive. There is Simone Biles. She likes so much. She's making a lot of money in gymnastics and she loves it. She thinks she can model. That's her model right there. They go for it. So I'm telling parents, invest in your children, and there is no way you will regret the investment. It's not going to yield the fruits right now, but probably it's going to happen in future. In fact, not probably, surely it is going to happen in future.
But this has to take a lot of time.
And it is worth it. It takes a lot of time. That is true. Sometimes I have a problem at my job. I fight with my managers because I have to go home and take my children to their different appointments. They have a problem with me. I am fine with that kind of problem. That's a good problem to have. I am not running from my job to go home and go drinking or go smoke cigarettes. I'm going to take my children to those places where I think it's for them. And thankfully, some of them are now understanding me.
Well, thank you so much, Dr. Roger Mbienda. If Roselle has last word, she'll be welcome to come to indicate to me, and I'll bring her on. For now, we will have this transition
with people in the background, and the kinds of things they say about what you do for the community. You cannot imagine how big that is.
thank you to those who are watching the show from around the world and those who will be coming to watch later. My name is Divine Chamakong. I am anchoring this broadcast from Washington, D.C. metropolitan area. On this platform, you are now having our newest broadcast, Next Generation Today. We have Voices of Africa, we have a Healthline, and we have Family Matters. Ladies and gentlemen, at this point, I'm going to bring up once again our guest for today, our guest who came to launch this edition, maiden edition of Next Generation Today. Ladies and gentlemen, join me now in welcoming back on the platform, Roselle Bianda. Okay, Roselle, I'm going to have you say a last word, maybe talk to your peers, speak to parents, and I'm not going to ask you what question. I'm simply requesting you to share your thoughts, your last words on the show, the maiden edition of Next Generation Today. You have the platform.
My dad was just on here talking about a quote that Abraham Lincoln said. It was, "The best way to predict your future is to create one." And I'm here now predicting my future by creating my future. And I hope that everybody out there who is my age and possibly older is creating their future as well. I believe, my dad tells me every day that I'm going to be a millionaire at 25, and I wholeheartedly believe him. I want to thank you so much for having me on the show. I am so grateful to be here. Once again, I hope that the children and the adults watching me can learn from the things that I said.
Wow. We love Chat Night Africa. All right. Thank you so much. You're such a brilliant 11-year-old girl, Roselle Bianda. Thank you. I appreciate you coming to take my questions. My questions are sometimes hostile, but you were able to answer and respond. I appreciate you a lot. And I want to assure you that this is not the last time you are appearing on Next Generation Today, because the whole idea in creating the space was so that you could speak to fellow teenagers, you could speak to parents. Teens can come here and talk their problems, because sometimes, we parents, we don't understand you young people because we are not connecting. We are of a different generation and you're of a different generation. It takes a lot of tact, a lot of art, a lot of effort to get into your world, to be able to understand you. Thank you so much again.
You're welcome.
Ladies and gentlemen, and that's how we wrap up the maiden edition of Next Generation Today. If you know any teenager who is doing things, making things, thinking outside the box, let us know. You can write to us at chatnightafrica@gmail.com. chatnightafrica@gmail.com. Finally, I want to thank all the supporters. Believe me, to build a platform of this magnitude, this glamour, isn't a walk in the park. It takes time, it takes money, and believe me, lots of people have tried it and simply cut and run. There is a reason for that. I thank all of you for watching this show. My name is Divine Chamakong. I'm anchoring this broadcast from Washington, D.C. metropolitan area. We will be back again for yet another edition of Next Generation Today, soon and very soon. Merci à tout le monde I will see you soon and very
I'm
soon.
coming back. I'm coming back. I'm coming. Coming to get down. I'm coming. I'm coming. Coming to dance. To dance. We're gonna dance. We're gonna dance. We're gonna get down. We're gonna get down. We're gonna party. Party hardy. We're gonna boogie. Boogie woogie. And when we jam, it's out of sight. This song right here, it's dynamite. I'm ready. I'm coming. I'm coming back.